this lesson we're looking at our second armbar attack from our Kneeride position. This time it's, instead of the near arm, we're attacking the far arm. So it starts out, we have our Kneeride, and the most common response to the Kneeride quite naturally is for my partner to start pushing on the problem, and the problem being my knee and his stomach. As he pushes on it, if I can see some space in between his arm, I can reach in with his hand and cup that arm. We then pull him up into our shins. Our left leg then steps around the corner, ideally getting lower down than our right leg. Squeezing our knees together, sitting back for the finish. Now what we want to do once we cup this arm is, as I'm stepping around with this foot, I'm going to pull him this way. So ideally I want him turning this way while I'm spinning the other direction. I don't want to do those things sequentially. So from here, I cup it in there, pull, turn the corner for the finish. So we get him spinning right into the armbar. So from side control, control the sleeve, push up position, up to the Kneeride. I see his reaction, he's pushed on the knee, reaching in here, pull and spin for the far arm finish. The other point here is, once you become au fait with this move, try and stay pretty low. So instead of standing right up, as I'm pulling, I can stay down nice and low while I do that spin and just make that movement a little bit more efficient. So we call that the far arm bar from Kneeride.
So just to add a couple more thoughts onto that, to be laying down, John. One of the things to note about this technique is the position of the feet. When you step around and we come into here, frequently this foot is underneath this arm, and that's not a bad thing. All the other arm bars we've done, the foot's been over the top. Having the foot in there actually prohibits John from joining his hands together as a method of protecting me from opening his arm. So when he goes to try and grab this arm to protect it, I use my shin to hold that away. So that's actually something I prefer to have an arm bar with that foot in there. The thing I have to watch is if I come too far here, it lets John start to sit up. So I have to kind of flare the knee out to get the benefit of holding his head down while separating his arm away if he goes to defend, and then getting the arm. The other thing is, again, there's that same problem with hip penetration. So when John was talking about pulling the shoulder up, what this is really doing is giving me a big space to sit in tight so I get that tight hip penetration. If I didn't do that, if I just moved without pulling John and left him flat, it would be very difficult for me to get any kind of hip penetration for this move. The other thing I wanted to say in general is, we looked at the Kneeride as a position that's not a pin. It's not a position to hold someone. It's a ride. And one of the benefits of it is it does put the person, the opponent, in a place of discomfort. So he wants to get out. And this move takes advantage of that. So whenever you're putting someone under pressure in a very specific way, you're not just doing that to be mean. You're not just doing it to tire the person out. You're starting to play them like a puppet master. You know, when you put something really heavy on someone's stomach, it's very predictable that they're going to react in a certain way. And so the knee on the stomach becomes a setup, baiting me to have certain very predictable reactions so that John can take advantage of it and finish the attack.